Welcome guys to this channel. Hope you doing well and still working on yourself. Today we will be reacting to a video from Unwind with Tasha K YouTube channel, so shout to her. Basically there is this married woman calling on her show, complaining about how her husband has become emotionally distant from her. So without any further ado, let's see this.
A communication amongst the family. That's all we need to do.
Absolutely.
What's going on, baby? What's your problem? I ain't gonna say what's your problem. What's your question?
No, what's my problem? You had it right. So I've been married for 6 years. So me and my husband got married when I was 25. I'm now, going on 31.
Okay.
And it just kind of seems like the flame in our marriage is kind of firing down. He's a great provider and a great father, but when it comes to like that emotional and my sexual needs, he's not really fulfilling that. And it's just kind of like I've tried to talk to him about it, and he's just kind of like, he's prideful. Like he really doesn't feel like he wants to hear what he does wrong. But it's so frustrating because I'm not sexually or emotionally getting what I need, girl. What should I do?
I just quickly want to point the fact that her husband, based on her own words, is a great provider and a great father. But still not enough, and that's pretty common when it comes to long-time relationship, especially marriage. There will always be something to complain about.
For me, I went through the same thing, okay? You're in your 20s, you get married. You say you got kids, right?
Yep, I got one. I got a 2-year-old.
Okay, all right. So y'all got a baby. That takes away from any intimacy because all your energy is spent with the baby, and then you disconnect emotionally. You know what I'm saying? Even though y'all probably had this great marriage where you started, but then the kids come in and the babies is probably sleeping beside you or waking you up at
literally.
night.
Yeah.
He got to go to work. That's not his fault.
Yeah, what she is saying right now is pretty true. Sometimes people forget that when you start having babies in a relationship, it can affect the dynamic of the couple, especially when they are very young. They take a lot of energy. On top of that, you still have to work to provide. It might be long shift from sunrise till night. And don't forget about the social life, like friends, family members. It can be difficult sometimes to keep up.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yes, ma'am.
You guys, in a marriage, I've been married almost 20 years, and this happened early on in my marriage. Unfortunately, in my marriage, right, when it was happening, I stepped outside of the marriage.
Damn!
Okay?
Okay.
That didn't solve anything at all. It made things worse. Okay? And so because as women, we're emotional beings, and I remember my daughter being, I want to say she was maybe 3, maybe 4, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? And so it's not going like you have to understand, like marriage goes through waves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to consider the parameters around, like what is going on, like what happened to cause you guys to be emotionally distant from each other.
Yeah.
And so to me, it sounds like the baby in life. And so now that the baby is getting older, does anybody watch the baby? Do you guys have a mom that can watch the baby?
We do. It just feels like it's kind of like one of those things where like we'll be fine. Like you said, marriages in waves. So like my goal is I love my husband. I don't want to leave my husband or step out on my husband. You know what I mean? I'm kind of at that point where I'm like I'm trying to tell you how I feel, and you're not, you know what I mean, respecting it. Or I don't know if he just gets what I'm saying. Like sexually, like before we got married, we was like having sex all the time. We were talking, we were communicating, and it just kind of seems like he doesn't care to put in that effort anymore. So it's kind of frustrating. You know what I mean? Like I've tried doing date nights. I've tried like getting some freaky stuff going on in our bedroom, like everything you can think of. And it's just really like not registering to him. So I don't know if it's
all right. It seems like her husband might not find her as attractive as she was before. I'm not saying is the case, but it could be.
But you're forcing it, right? And like, how's your financial situation going on? Is your finances good on both ends? Is he working and you're not working? What's going on? Are you a stay-at-home mom?
Yes, ma'am. So I'm a stay-at-home mom right now. I am going to school to be a lawyer. So that's currently what I'm doing. And then he's working full time.
Y'all tired, baby. That man tired.
Exactly.
I still need some dick, Tasha. I'm tired too.
I get it. You know what I'm saying? I do get that. But you have to understand, there's going to be waves where You don't want to fuck, right?
Right.
But and then he's gonna want to, and then vice versa. And then he's working, and you're going to school, and then there's a child. He ain't thinking about no. See, right now he's thinking about how he could keep this roof over his head, and when he come home, baby's draining him. You want to drain him. You know what happens when you come. You tired. But what you got to do is you can't force it on him. You can't. You have to you have to literally put it in a way where you set up. You get the baby. You know what I'm saying? And maybe y'all just start with just some intimate nights, not with sex. You see what I'm saying? Maybe it's just like, let's just go have dinner. Let's go see a movie. Let's work on just being friends without the baby being in the marriage. Because that's where a lot of marriages, unfortunately, break down. Because like I was a stay-at-home mom, right? I didn't have to work, even though I chose to work. I've always been a busybody. My husband has always held it down. And so like he's working 12, 15-hour shifts and stuff. I'm at home talking baby talk all day. It get real boring up in there. And then when you finally get out, you know what I'm saying? And then you know, you're out with your girlfriends, and then a motherfucker paying you attention, and your husband at work all day, you end up, you know, well, because I personally believe the universe can smell vulnerability. They can smell that shit on you. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't be surprised if you was already approached by somebody.
Multiple people. And that's the thing. I don't want to leave my person. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, let's talk through it. He's just not emotional at all. Like, he's just not that person or that guy where he talks about his feelings.
But he was emotional when you met him.
Of course he was. But notice, guys, how she still come back to the emotional aspect, despite the fact of being bring back to the basics. And shout out again to Tasha K, because all she said was straight on the line.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's still there. It's just life is in the way. And you guys are at that 6-7 year mark. If you end up doing something right now that goes outside of that marriage covenant, you guys are going to have more problems on top of what you already got. You guys are going to get through this cycle. It's a cycle that everybody hits. And that's why you see a lot of couples that hit divorce before 10 years. Fortunately for me, and my side of the family and his side of the family, they ain't letting no divorce go down. Okay.
Same. They're literally not even, like, they don't even want to hear it.
A marriage is an effort. Okay. And so, you know, he stepped out, I stepped out early in the marriage, right? That shit ain't solved nothing at all. All it do is you bring other people and their problems into your shit to add on top of the shit. And it was like, you really love this person. You want to be with this person, but y'all got kids, y'all got debt, y'all got all this shit. And it's like, well, how do we get back to what brought us together?
True words right there. But the major problem is the file for divorce and leave your husband propaganda spread by feminist gurus, female singers, and the justice system cause they benefit from it. They are everywhere nowadays, on social media, on TV, among their friends' circle. Everywhere.
And that's what you got to do. And you have to keep people that are serving you out your business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't be talking to your girlfriends. Don't be talking, if your mama don't like him, don't talk to her about him. You know, y'all just work on just being friends, you know, watching games together, going to do stuff together. You know what I'm saying? And I guarantee you that will all come back up, because that's the reason why y'all fell in love in the first place.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Problem.
So, guys, that's going to be the end of our video. Thank you if you have made it till the end. Tell us what you think in the comment section, and more importantly, don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button. See you on the next episode.